Your questions, please raise your hand and wait for the microphone. We'll start left side, front row.
Did you guys have to be here? You know what I mean? Like, there's usually the room's full. It's like, okay, you gotta go. The rest, half your colleagues are at a bar. Did you guys have to show up? I'm happy that you did. Thank you. It'd be awfully lonely. I appreciate you coming. I don't know where the hell the rest of you are.
Paul, we always talk about
Sorry.
we always talk about culture and doing the right thing, and there's already a lot of moments tonight that were special. But what was it like for you watching all the first-time Cup guys get the Cup first after Barkey?
Those are the small, maybe, insights for people into this group. When the awareness of, you know, it doesn't go captain to captain to captain to Sam Reinhart, who scored 4. The awareness of each other. All of those guys who touched it first, it was their first Cup. So that's what makes these men special. To be aware of that, they're just not selfish at all. They don't need the camera time. They're not trying to put themselves, there's no pecking order. So it didn't have to go from Barkov, you know, to Ekblad, to Matthew. It went to all the guys who hadn't done it before.
Stay in that same row.
Paul, on that subject, that moment with Thomas Nosek breaking down on your shoulder, I mean, that had to be one of the most special moments maybe of your career.
Just shared things, so maybe what a wonderful thing for those guys to be on the ice when it went to 0. And we're in trouble. We're down 2-0 to Toronto, and those 3 guys came in. And they changed our fortune and changed it, and they had earned the right to be on the ice at the end. And it's a tough way to start your final, right? So he and I both shared things in that I missed a line change in one of the games that cost us a goal, that cost us the game in my mind. But the players rally around you and take care of you. So that was kind of like the 2 guys who screwed up. So thankful that we won. It was very special. You're right. For me, that will be one I will never forget.
Right side, front row.
Paul, we've talked a lot about Brad Marchand, and for good reason. What about Seth Jones and everything that he brought to the back end for you all, and him being one of those guys who was looking to win a Cup for his career?
Well, I've been asked the question, when do you think, how long it would take before Seth could get to the kind of form here, and I thought it would be a year. And the reason for that is I thought it took Aaron Ekblad almost a year. It took him a regular season before he came into kind of his true style. This guy is a Norris Trophy candidate all day long, as long as we're not only counting forwards that play defense. If it's not strictly a point, and I'm not being disrespectful to other guys who've won it, but if it's not just a point production issue, he's special, that one. And this is the perfect environment to him to come in, because he didn't have to be, right? The camera's not on all the time. I'm not being disrespectful to his other organizations. They're just in a different curve. Those players, those elite guys on those teams, they carry a lot of pressure. But he can kind of walk in the room and, my partner's Nico Mikkola, we're going to be okay here, and just play that and enjoy it. So I think we're just starting to see how good this guy is. I don't think we know it yet. I remember him when he was really young playing in Nashville, and we played him in a playoff series in Winnipeg in 18, and we'd get up on him, and he'd go back, pick up the puck around the back of the net, and we didn't have an answer for it. We couldn't stop him. So there's a lot there.
Left side, front row.
Well, what is it about the roster makeup and the guys that Bill Zito brings in that makes this team so dependable, so able to do this consistently for multiple years, multiple playoff games, no matter the opponent?
Well, it's just really deep, unusually so. So Anton Lundell is, I get it, he's 23 years old, but he's plus 19 in the playoffs, playing with Brad Marchand. So that can't be your third line. Like Marchand, Lundell, Lustein are at the top of our scoring, which means Sam Bennett is our third line, who just won the Conn Smythe. Well, that doesn't make any sense. So it has to be Barkov, who's got 3 Selkes. That's got to be your third line. So there's the answer to that question. at least that's the foundation, a very talented group of guys. So when you bring somebody in, we're going to play with a really good player. Maybe a better way is the Nate Smith story. He just wanted to get his game back. He just wanted to get to a point that he comes in here, and we had a whole bunch of injuries during the year, so he played with everybody. He played with Dmitry Kulikov. Not a household name. But Dimitri's game is incredibly dependable, incredibly consistent. So Nate Schmidt gets to kind of return to form. He was like the Nate Schmidt in Washington that I remember seeing him, and then in Vegas. But in Washington especially, he was young, he was up the ice, he was full of life, everything was great. And then I had him for a month and a half, 2 months in Winnipeg and tried to end his career. So he survived me.
Right side, front row.
Hey, Paul. The Barkov line, obviously huge tonight, Reinhart with 4 goals, but what did you see from them that made them so effective in what turned out to be the final game of the season?
I think Barkov got better. I won't go through the injury list, but in game 1, Sasha split his hand open, the palm of his hand for 13. And he had those sutures torn out twice till he just glued it together. So that had something to do with his point production. Sam Reinhart had a grade 2 MCL in the Carolina series and took some days off. It took him a few games to get back to health. I think they were both just healthy. But if you're Sam Reinhart, how good's your story? You scored the game winner in Game 7 in overtime last year, and you bang in 4. Nobody's going to say whether it's a goalie in that. Nobody's going to care. He just scored 4 goals. Well, that's a pretty good story.
We'll take a couple more, second row on the left.
Paul, after you left Winnipeg, if somebody told you about 3.5 years later you'd have back-to-back Stanley Cups, what would you tell them?
You have to put a separation there. Because Winnipeg was this incredible place in my mind. So I was good when I was done. I wouldn't say that I was proud of my career, but I could manage how I viewed it. It's important for me how you report that and write it. The Winnipeg people, the ownership, the fans were better than I was at the end. I was just no good, right? I was burnt. But if you're sitting there going, I had 4 of the best fishing days of my life in June, and then on June 4th, my phone rings, and it's a number I don't know, so I don't answer it. Why would I? And then I get this really profane text from Trip Tracy, I believe, answer your phone, with other words mixed in, and it was Bill Zito. So from that day to today, this is going to sound crazy. It's actually not the Stanley Cups. Careful what I say. Watching these guys interact with each other, that's been the gift to this place. That's been the best thing for me. We become, when you're burnt out, you are exhausted, cynical, and you believe you're not effective. Those are the 3 components to it, and that cynicism is real. It was somewhat life-altering this year to watch the way they treat each other, and to realize I could treat them the same way.
Last one, right side, second row.
Paul, first, congratulations. Second, 2 of the guys who've been so key through these runs the last couple of years, Sam Bennett to win the Conn Smythe, just how special is that? And Chucky, I know, if I remember right, 2 years ago he played with a broken sternum. Maybe I'm misremembering that, but
Broke his collarbone.
Collarbone. And then this year he said on TNT that he had torn his hip adductor off the bone and was playing with a hernia, just the toughness and to
He was a
to
mess.
go through.
That's the medical term. He was a mess. Yeah, the great stories of redemption and sacrifice that are here. So we have players that were good players. The timing wasn't right. The situation, all of it just didn't fit. And those are easy words, but when you think what a man goes through when it's not right, those are hard times, dark times, especially if you care. And for Sam Bennett to be here today with this group of guys, to have the success he's had, there's a lot of heaviness that he had to unload. There's a lot of work that had to go into it. He just didn't show up with his talent and say, okay, feed me, and I'll show you how good I am. There's more to it. And Matthew's played with some injuries, and we were I was really not hopeful at the start that he would survive the first round. Just didn't think he could do it. But what he does so well is he's so smart. He managed himself around the ice and around the game that he could still produce, but he wasn't taking hits and he wasn't giving hits. He was in open ice. And then he just kind of slowly built that and slowly, get a little more. Then he had a block of games that I think he was healthy, and he might have been so excited that he was healthy. He was still kind of on the perimeter, and then when you get the closer we got toward the end of the final, it didn't matter. If he tears it off the bone again, fine. He can come back in January. Just help the team win, and that's his last 4 games. For me, were the 4 best games he's played for the Florida Panthers.